The Democratic Alliance in the Eastern Cape says the provincial government has done very little to develop the local economy. The party is also calling on the provincial government to intervene in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro in order to ensure political as well as administrative stability. Now, according to the DA, the Metro only spent 69% of its capital expenditure budget in the 2023-2024 financial year.
Well, thank you very much. We are in Kabeja in the Eastern Cape, where the Democratic Alliance here has just concluded its press briefing on the state of the province, and not only the province but the Nelson Mandela Bay as well, highlighting some issues in the capital expenditure of the municipality from the previous financial year. But I do have the MPL of the DA in the Eastern Cape Legislature, Retief Odendal. Retief, let's just speak on the local issues facing the municipality. We spoke about the capital expenditure being at 69 from the previous financial year.
Well, we've highlighted the fact that we've got a major crisis in Nelson Mandela Bay. We've seen that National Treasury has already clawed back 450 million rand in the past financial year, which means that money is lost to the city and can't be spent on infrastructure development. But even after that money has been clawed back, we've seen that at the end of the financial year, the city only managed to spend 69% of its total budget. That means even more money is going to flow out of the city, and that's absolutely disastrous for one of the poorest metros in the country. And it means that unfortunately there's less going into economy in the Eastern Cape, and the Eastern Cape is currently the only province that is in recession.
Although you highlighted issues of political instability in the metro, you also highlighted the issue of, changing, the administrative issues facing the metro, that we need to fix the administrative problem as well.
I think that we must stop fixating on the politicians. We have to look at what is wrong with the administration and start providing administrative stability. And that's why we've identified certain key areas that needs intervention from govt in the province, as well as govt at a national level, as well as provincial and national treasury. Things that we can do and put in place to ensure that the administration is far more stable and that they are able to deliver basic services to people. What we can't have is, we can't just look at the instability in council and throw our hands into the air and say there's nothing that we can do in hung municipalities like Nelson Mandela Bay. Of course there's something that we can do. We can ensure that the administration is stable so that we can ensure that there's at least basic service deliveries to our people in the Eastern Cape, and specifically in Nelson Mandela Bay.
Although the issue of political or politicians is an issue we cannot avoid, because these politicians are the very same people who assume these positions in government, as the DA, within local level and provincial level, we do understand we have the GNU. You are in a GNU with the ANC, which is also a major shareholder in the council of the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. What are some of your discussions going forward in terms of forming that stability within this particular metro?
Well, I think I want to start off by saying that the DA will always do what is in the best interest of our people, and specifically in the best interest of governments like Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. Unfortunately, I am not privy to whatever discussions is happening by political parties at a national level. But that is why we identified here in Nelson Mandela Bay a list of issues that can be dealt with at a provincial level without waiting for political solutions. And that is where the focus must lie. You can't always put your problems in front of political parties and hoping for the best. You need to find solutions. And these solutions and non-negotiable areas, we're going to take to the MEC of govt, we're going to take to the National Minister of govt, we're going to take to Provincial Treasury, take to National Treasury and say, this is how we can fix Nelson Mandela Bay. Yes, of course we want a new government in Nelson Mandela Bay. Yes, of course, the DA wants to be part of that government to bring change to the city. However, We can't wait for that. We need to fix the city now because we are bleeding money and our residents are bleeding service delivery.
Just lastly, Retief, on Monday, the president signed the proclamation for the SIU to investigate maladministration within the metro, and this dates back from 2020 to 2024, and even before that. But during those times, the DA has also been in power. Then, just a reaction from your side on this proclamation.
We welcome it. I think that we know that unfortunately these investigations takes forever. There's a number of investigations where my administration, when I was the executive mayor in Nelson Mandela Bay, took to the Hawks. Those investigations are still undergoing at this very moment. So it takes very, very long. But we welcome it because if you look at the fact that Nelson Mandela Bay has got 21 billion rand in irregular expenditure on its annual financial statements, it tells you a story of looting and corruption over the last 15 years in this municipality, and it continues. So we welcome it, and we will provide the SIU with whatever support we can in order to ensure that we uncover all corruption in Nelson Mandela Bay.
Thank you very much for your time, Retief.
Thank you.
Retief Odendaal, MPL in the Eastern Cape Legislature, just telling us some of the problems that they have seen within the province and in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, and some of the interventions that they're also calling for.